One of the days I dread. It's a travel day. I am off down to freaking Daegu today. So spent the morning, or I spent the last 10 minutes here, just packed up my bags really efficiently. Gonna eat some food, and then there's war between Naver and Google Maps about how to get there. So I'm gonna just go to Seoul Station and then ask somebody for a ticket to Dongwasa. So hope that works. But yeah, I'm gonna go have some breakfast here. Here's the hotel breakfast. Not gonna lie, I am so excited about this. Travel food. See you later, Cuba Hotel. This place was really awesome. It was very, very wonderful. Very happy with it. Anyway, now I gotta go find Seoul Station. And then, I think I mentioned already, I don't, like, Google Maps and Naver are kind of having a war here about how to get to Dongwasa. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go there and just ask for a ticket and see what they do for me. Updates coming soon. All right, found Seoul Station pretty easy. Gotta find the train. Here we are, Seoul Station. Okay, my train ticket was in Korean, so that was really confusing, but there was a lot of helpful people. They really helped me out. And the train is going.
그래서 나중에 그런 얘기 못했어요. 정 안 되면 그러면 지금 만들어놓은 거 다 복사시키고서 다시 처음으로 그걸 재밌게 해가지고서 나 열심히 하는데 왜 내가 식으로 한다는 거야. 끝나고 나서 작업을 왜 이렇게 했었는지 해달라고 한참 어쩌고 해달라고 한참 조금 더 다른 사람들이
So fast. Alright, calm train ride, that was very peaceful. Made it down to Daegu. I've got about 3 or 4 hours before I head up to Dongwasa. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll grab some food or something. Maybe I'll just chill out. I don't know. Because, man. That train was like really, really peaceful, you know, like in Canada, like if you go somewhere, someone's always got like a Bluetooth speaker blasting a bunch of rap, and it's very jarring. And that was just so quiet and so peaceful. Korea is so cool. Okay, I'm at Daegu Station. I have about 1 free hour. I looked it up. So yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna go look around here, see what the deal is. And maybe food, maybe just chill. Oh my gosh, there's so many beautiful mountains here. This is crazy. Wow. Look how beautiful that is. Whoa, that's beautiful. Okay. Oh, hey, what is this? Ah, man, I'm out of Seoul, so there's no more English. But I found the bus stop. Pretty cool. It just leaves every 15 minutes, takes an hour, and it'll bring me right to the temple. So I've got a little over an hour to just kind of chill out. So I'm gonna walk around a bit and see what I see. Very different than Seoul so far. Everybody is super nice though. Like anytime I'm lost, I just show somebody like my little Google map and they're like, okay, go this way. Even if they don't speak English, they're just all so kind and so helpful. Korea is so cool. Alright, there's not much to do. Like there is a lot of food here, but I'm not hungry, and it's kind of like an industrial area, so I don't see much utility to staying here much longer. So I'm going to go try to catch the bus and ride up to Dongwasa, and I'll get there probably half an hour early. But hopefully I can kind of just chill out in the mountains for half an hour. Okay, this is where I'm at. I found the picture on Google Maps. The picture is on the sign. I saw a bus with the picture on it. I'm just trying to match pictures of letters here. I think I got it. Oh my gosh, this is recording 200 and I'm only on take 5. This is gonna be a nightmare to edit. But I made it. I'm finally here in Dongwasa. Oh man. Yeah, no English on that commute. Amazing kindness though. I got on and I was trying to pay my fee. They don't accept cash, they don't accept card. You have to have a prepaid card, which did not work. This woman ended up just paying for me, and I tried to pay her back and she was like, no, just go ahead. And then I sat down and this other woman was like, oh, here, have some authentic Korean chocolate. No one on that bus spoke English, but they were the kindest people I've ever met, which is just a story over and over again in my experience in Korea. Incredibly kind people. So I've got an hour until check in at the temple, and I don't know, I guess I'll walk around a bit. But that bus ride was amazing. And something I recurrently think about in my time here is that, what is this? Is this a grocery store? Is that the influence of culture. Like Korea is very aware, and it's kind of a general consideration that like culture is very fundamental to the structure of a society. And you can see that everywhere. There's very responsible kind of like cartoons and media and music everywhere. And so, I don't know, it just makes me think about like media and media responsibility in the West. Here in Pogang Mountain. So beautiful, so peaceful. This is like a Banff-like town. There's no one here right now. Kind of creepy, but also kind of cool. There's all these pig statues here down the middle of the avenue. So I guess pigs are a big cultural animal. They kind of suggest that, like, you know, the pig has enough food to be fat. Therefore, like, this environment is very rich and fulfilling. So it's kind of like a good luck. I found a kind of cool, chill little spot. Read some Killers of the Flower Moon, which is a fascinating book, written very interestingly. Now I'm going to slowly meander over to the temple. I have 40 minutes still. I'm gonna meander over there. Met a guy. Everyone here is so friendly. Oh my gosh, Korea is just so friendly. But he's talking about how Daegu and Dongwasa are very cheap comparative to like Seoul and Busan, which is wild because Seoul was incredibly cheap compared to Canada. So I definitely gonna get some food here tomorrow. He recommended that. He's like, the food is really cheap. So yeah, and again, I can't even imagine that being cheaper than Seoul. So everyone's so nice here. Temple time. All right, here we go. Of course, I'm just walking through the park here on the way to the Dongwasa Temple, and they got like an outdoor gym, some trees and stuff. And check this out: 100-foot lead rock climbing wall in the middle of like the park. You can just come here and climb lead. Insurance would have an aneurysm if you tried this in Canada, but this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So sick. I'm curious about this temple stay because I have a very active mind, obviously, but I have a very like positive mind. So I have a lot of happiness in my mind, but not a lot of peacefulness in my mind. So I'm curious what this is going to be like. I'm very curious to it, and I'm very open to it. Okay, I think I found it. Pretty epic entrance. If this isn't it, I would be very surprised. But I'm pretty sure it's it. Here's the guardian monks. So cool. Okay, it looks like I'm coming up on the temple grounds here, but look how beautiful this mountainous area is. Like, I hope that comes across on camera, just how wild and beautiful that is. You can take a cable car up to like the top of the mountain to kind of look over all over the forested mountains. Very tempted. Oh, where do I go? I don't know, there's an arrow that way. There's no English here. I'm just gonna go to this building and hope that helps me out, but it's so cool. All right, this is home for the next 24 hours. Okay, this is my residence. There's my bed. Come in here, you got like a locker. Oh my gosh, fancy ass. Washroom, the shower and everything. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. This is so sick. Korea uses the same chargers as Portugal, so that's fortunate for me. Just brought my charger from last year. I have half an hour to explore, and then it's orientation, and then we get to talk to a monk, and then we meditate for an hour. So I'm gonna kind of try to film a bit of the temple grounds. Just try to capture this in my mind. Here's the temple attire. I have these kind of pants and this vest, and that's kind of my clothes, I guess, until tomorrow. So I'm staying kind of in this complex here, with a bunkhouse with the hanok roof. I can't remember. And then I head up to Chonseon, the temple up there in half an hour. So I'm just going to explore the grounds before that, and then I'll head up there. So that way of standing with your hands crossed is called chuso, and it's a way to like show others your respect for them, and your inward focus by keeping your hands to yourself, essentially. You're also supposed to be quiet and just bow to the people around you. That is what's called the noble silence. So it's kind of like as I understand it, a way of turning the mind inward to pay consideration to the thoughts therein. So. But Chuso is kind of interesting. I'm trying to practice it right now. So yeah, in the Buddhist temple here in the middle of the woods, and there is a bunch of Pokestops here. They're everywhere. This is astoundingly magnificent. So big. Very secure. So beautiful, so cool. Yeah, I'm just at this Buddha statue. There's the temple behind me, which I think would do something in. And there's kind of this central area, which seems to be kind of a worship area with the Buddha. And then it seems to be some guardian monks passing around. So I've done my 3 prayers to the Buddha. So the prayer for those that are suffering, to ease their suffering, for those that have died, and for all of the times that have passed. And then, in my opinion, the greatest prayer to the Buddha is for the life itself and for everything that is and is to be. Very wonderful, very peaceful. Okay, I'm going to go check out these guardian monks. I'm very curious. There's a lot of carvings, a lot of statues here, and I don't know what they are. So I hope that that the orientation kind of talks about that. A lot of lions, a lot of elephants, some like humanoid people with or human things with animal heads. And then here's the kind of surroundings of the Buddha statue there with the dragon and the various kind of guardian monks standing about. I shouldn't say guardian monks. I presume that they are guardian monks, but it may be that they are sub-shrines like Bodhisattva's, which would make more sense when you look down there. But I guess I'll learn. I hope that the scale of this comes across on camera, like it is profoundly huge. Okay, so this is the medicine Buddha. So he's the specific one for the people that are ill and sick and suffering. It's so beautiful. Can't get over that. It's such a beautiful day too. Perfect day for this. I am trying to like think and turn inward, which is interesting. Like when I say that there's a lot of happiness in my mind, but not a lot of peace in my mind. I'm like, well, is that, do I want that to be different? I mean, do I? So this is the field of balloons, with each balloon having a wish attached to it. You can see them all over there. And the idea being that like, this is your kind of request to the Buddha to acknowledge that wish. Oh, to be a temple kitty. Interestingly, this place reminds me of Sask Hospital. Because when you go to Sask Hospital, you can go into the Sask Hospital Museum, and it shows kind of the early 1900s when they had the mental health patients there. And they would kind of put them to work. They would go like put them to work building roads and working on a farm and things like that. And that was kind of like considered therapy at the time. And then later it was considered kind of like forced labor. And what's funny is now it's coming back as therapy again, which I do think it is therapy, 100% therapeutic. I think it's therapeutic for normal people to engage in work and to push themselves. I think that withdrawing that from people is wild. But regardless, this place reminds me a lot of that because you can see kind of homages in the history of when the monastery was much larger and kind of operation that they had, and kind of how it gives structure to the unstructured, which creates a sort of peace among those people. So, kind of an interesting thing. Oh, also, it's kind of like the DMZ in that there's like not necessarily places you can't film, but times you can't film. So you can't film like the monks practicing. You can't film in the cafeteria. I don't think you can film like during the ceremonies. You can film wherever you want, just not like during those times and situations. So I didn't get to film the food. Okay, just finished the the heck was it? We saw the bell ceremony, and then we prayed with the monks. So I'm going to go back to the bell ceremony site so that I can kind of show the instruments and show kind of what they did and what they mean, because it was very interesting. On the way, I'll just talk about the praying with the monks. So we go in, the monks use the front door, other people like the non-monks use the side doors. Ooh, so dark. I saw a lot of snakes in this forest before. Okay, anyway, the monks use the front door, the non-monks use the side door. Then you go in, and then you pray to the Buddha, and then it's you sing this song that's like 13 different prayers. As you do that, you do your prostrations, and then we did kind of a last prayer to the Bodhisattvas, and then we kind of came back out. Now the songs or the chants were sung in a very low, kind of guttural, kind of throat song type of thing. It was very low, and it was really interesting because a lot of Buddhism is about like clearing your mind and finding peace in your mind, and with that sound, like you can't even think anything. It's just like it's like a radar jammer for your thoughts. It was really interesting. Incredibly unique experience. Very glad I did it. It got dark so fast. I hope that I can see the bell ceremony site tonight. Yeah, the prayer ceremony is very interesting, as was the musical bell ceremony. Hopefully I can get there. Let's see. Still some meditation going on. Temple kitties. This is very cool. Very dark though. I'm gonna go see if the Buddha statue is lit up. Might just have to head back to the to the lodge for tonight. Okay, the only other English-speaking people here is a couple from Italy. And I asked them if the Buddha was lit up. And they didn't understand me, so I'm gonna go look. They're really nice though. No, it's not lit up, it's all dark. Well, back to the lodge for the night. Oh, so I just thought of a great description of the Bodhisattvas. So here you like read the Bible and there's like a million different like stories. There's like Job and like Ezekiel and Mark and like all these bajillion different stories about different guys like Moses and Noah. That's like the Bodhisattvas, as they're like various Buddhism stories. Right back at the cabin, or the lodge here. This is so cool. I got this whole room to myself. Wow. With my own bathroom. This is crazy. And oh, it's got air conditioning, which is like, this is luxury. So yeah, I'll show you the prostration, and then I'm gonna take a shower. I'll do my talking head afterward. Dude, I'm in bed by 8 on vacation. That's crazy. Probably gonna read a bit of Colors of the Flower Moon and then fall asleep, hopefully by like 8:30. Lunch or breakfast tomorrow is at 5:40 in the morning. And I'm like, oh, 5:40, but at the same time that dinner was so good that I'm like, oh, I've gotta wake up for it. Oh. What a day. Or first week. Oh, so I was gonna say on the topic of kind of emptying your mind, I don't think that that's like what I want, you know? Like I grew up in Delisle, which is like kind of quite far from Saskatoon, very, very small town. And in my early 20s, there wasn't really a lot of opportunity there. There was, I would say, arguably no opportunity. I worked kind of 2 jobs there, but there wasn't really school. There wasn't, you know, a lot of networking or anything like that. And you know, you contrast that with my life now, where I live in Saskatoon and I do a bajillion things all over the place all the time, and there's more opportunity that I can even take. So when I think about having an empty mind, I'm like, no, that is a suffering much worse than a chaotic mind. So, I don't know. But I guess the value of being here is not necessarily to agree with this place, but to see what it makes me think. Which is the value of exposing yourself to a lot of ideas, I guess. But yeah. Bedtime. Really wake up tomorrow.